Detroit. Detroit, man! You know I love you. You know I love you. I've made videos about your prospects and your team and all the progress you guys have made. It's fantastic. The Red Wings are my third favorite team, so watching this Red Wings versus Canucks game was going to be a fun one, in my opinion, heading into the game. I thought, I'm emotionally invested into both of these teams. I can objectively look at both the positives and the negatives that both of these teams have on, and no matter what happens, I have fans of the Red Wings who watch this YouTube channel and fans of the Canucks who watch this YouTube channel. So it's going to be cool to have the very first collaboration in a very long time. We haven't made a Red Wings Canucks post-game video in what feels like years, but this right here was a hockey game that I honestly don't even know how to react. The Red Wings fan in me is jumping for joy because Thomas Greiss is an absolute maniac. The Canucks fan in me is absolutely beating myself and pounding my head into the wall because Thomas Greiss is an absolute maniac. Don't get me wrong. There were other players in this game that stood out in a very, very emotionally impactful way as well. Not just Thomas Greiss, who was an absolute game-changing monster, but we're going to be talking here about Conor Garland. Let's talk about Tyler Bertuzzi. Let's talk about Filip Zadina. Let's talk about Yaroslav Halak as well. Actually, you know what? Let's start off with Yaroslav Halak, because the Vancouver Canucks ended up starting Halak in this one. It's his very first game as a Vancouver Canuck that is not a preseason marker. They're playing him because Demko played yesterday against Philadelphia in a hockey game where the Vancouver Canucks pretty much just used up every ounce of luck that they have accumulated and stored in their repertoire. They used it all against the Flyers. So many lucky goals, eventually having that lead crumble away and winning it in a shootout very convincingly. I think that the Vancouver Canucks might have used every ounce of luck they had in that Flyers game and had zero stored up for this game against the Red Wings over here. Yaroslav Halak led in 2 goals. First one was a very nice Mark Stahl shot, and it was a tip-in by Robby Fabbri right there at the hash marks. You can't really stop that. Come on, you can't blame the goalie for that kind of goal. Good to see Robby Fabbri get on the board. Good to see Mark Stahl getting an assist over there. The second goal of the game was Filip Zadina on the power play. It was a one-timer. It goes right through Halak. You can't really stop that. Zadina's got a great shot. Aside from that, though, Yaroslav Halak was a guy that actually had some pretty good saves. He went out there and stood up to the task at every other moment. Sure, he was kind of shaky at times. He was kind of bobbling rebounds and not really playing the puck with his stick as well as I thought he could have. He did kind of look a little bit scrambly in those instances, but still, Yaroslav Halak went out there, 2 goals against on 20-something shots, and he actually had himself a pretty good game. As for Thomas Greiss, though, my goodness, this guy, an absolute maniac. 41 shots against, 40 saves. The only goal that beats him is a goal where he's kind of cheating off to the side, and it's Conor Garland who wraps around and goes off the helmet and in. But Thomas Greiss made so many phenomenal stops that you couldn't help but just be surprised. Surprised and respectful, I guess. Because, I'll tell you what, the Red Wings fan in me, every time Greiss made a big save, and there were plenty of those big saves, high danger chances, cross creases, loose pucks out in front, and sniping attempts from the outside. Thomas Greiss, every time he made one of those saves, the Red Wings fan in me was like, yeah, come on, let's go, Thomas Greiss! But the Canucks fan in me was just like, okay, I'll give you props there, Greiss. We're gonna beat you soon, but good play. It just did not happen, The Canucks beat him only once, and they ended up not getting anything by him after that. This game, though, had so many other layers that by the end of it, it was such a chippy, kind of aggressive, everybody was going after everybody, a lot of roughing penalties, a lot of confrontation, Tyler Bertuzzi getting up in everybody's face over here, but Conor Garland was the guy that pretty much catalyzed a good chunk of this. Not only did he score that goal where he wrapped around the net and went over the shoulder and off the helmet and in on Thomas Greiss. That's pretty much the NHL 21 glitch shot that you could do. You can't do that in 22 anymore because they removed it, but that was a glitch shot out of any shot that we have seen today. Conor Garland went out there as an absolute fireball. He played well. I thought he had a really good game yesterday. I thought he was fantastic today as well, just in the way he's able to maneuver and slip and slide and spin around the offensive zone to avoid forecheckers. He was very good. He also is a pretty aggressive hockey player, noted by his physicality and his ability to get under the opponent's skin. In particular, a moment with Filip Zadina happened, which was really unfortunate to see, where Conor Garland was chasing after a loose puck in the corner. He stops up because he's there first, and Filip Zadina comes in, reaching, trying to get it too. However, Conor Garland's a small guy, and he sees Zadina approaching him on his right, so he kind of spins around to protect not only himself, but the puck too. Zadina then goes headfirst into what looked like Conor Garland's elbow, and then lay motionless on the ice a little bit afterwards. I was like, okay, that's a penalty. Conor Garland, man, I love your feistiness, but you can't elbow guys in the head like that, man. And then we saw the replay. The replay showed that Conor Garland didn't really catch Zadina with his elbow at all. Nor was it really the shoulder, nor was it really any kind of chicken wing motion anywhere on his body. Conor Garland is just short. So when he rotated to protect himself from Zadina, it was kind of his back that caught Zadina flat in the face there. Zadina also reaching forward for the puck didn't make things any better. Now, I know a lot of Red Wings fans are going to be really emotionally fueled by seeing the outcome of this confrontation over here, but I'll just say this. Not only did Canucks fans go out there and say, okay, no, that's not a 5-minute major penalty, refs. Come on, you better rescind that 5, man. And I saw a lot of Red Wings fans too, in fact, saying that it is just an unfortunate hit and that Zadina just happened to be in the worst place possible for that thing to go down. So, even though Conor Garland was definitely a character in this hockey game later on with the fights with Bertuzzi, or not fights, but like confrontations. Fights is the wrong word because they didn't drop the gloves and get fined for fighting. You get what I mean, right? There was a lot of confrontation in this one. Tyler Bertuzzi was going out there getting after everybody. Bo Horvat got into a little bit of a scrum after the Conor Garland thing as well. We had a whole bunch of pushing and shoving in front of the goaltenders, and it didn't take long for the game to become gritty and aggressive. The Vancouver Canucks were playing in Philly yesterday, man. I think we could have used a lot more of that energy in that game, but no, we save it up for Detroit. As for the Red Wings, though, the goals they did score. Firstly, as I said, great to see Mark Stahl going out there doing his thing, and Fabbri getting the goals. The power play is where Filip Zadina scored his game-winning marker, a one-time bomb from Seider and Hronek. Just seeing Seider and Raymond going out there doing their thing, absolutely crazy, man. Like, I hadn't actually seen a full 60-minute Red Wings game this season yet. I mean, they'd only played one other game, so it's kind of tough to do that. I was switching between the Tampa Bay-Detroit game and a few other games that were on in that day, but just seeing the full-length shifts. Every time Seider went out there, he made a pinpoint-perfect, crisp, accurate pass. He had Lucas Raymond on the power play, just going around. Every time he touched the puck, I got scared. Every time he started making his moves or going around the ice, he did something. And he really showcased a lot of his value even more when there was a play where Quinn Hughes was holding onto the puck and retreating into his own zone, I think, and Lucas Raymond just went out there and casually pickpocketed Hughes. You don't pickpocket Hughes, bro. Only the best of the best can catch Quinn Hughes off guard and pickpocket him, and Lucas Raymond was able to do that. Speaking about rookies who had been making a good impact in this game, Jack Rathbone, dude, he had a pretty rough first game yesterday. Like, sure, there were some moments where he showed off the flashes of offensive prowess, but he wasn't perfect against Philly. In this game, though, man, so many plays where Rathbone was kind of slipping and sliding, almost like a hybrid of Garland and Hughes in the way he maneuvers and protects the puck while holding onto it. Not only that, but his absolute cannon of a shot was on display here as well, where in the last few minutes of the third period, he actually scores, but then it gets taken away because Nils Höglander went out there and elbowed Thomas Greiss in the head, buddy. You can't do that. I know Greiss has been great today. He has been to goaltending what Kratos is to war. He has been amazing, but you can't go out there and elbow the guy in the head. Sure, did Greiss go out of his crease a little bit? Yes. Sure, did Höglander probably have a clear lane to go by if Greiss was not out of his crease? Probably, but still, it doesn't change the fact that Höglander very clearly displaced the movement of Greiss's head, therefore it's goalie interference. Very unfortunate, dude. It's kind of why the luck thing, plays in again. This Vancouver Canucks team was so unlucky in how Greiss was making saves, in how Rathbone got his goal taken away, in how Dowling hit the post on the backhand to tie the game up late in the third. It's just one of those games. So, for Canucks fans, just calm down. We've had so many of our fair share of games where Thatcher Demko or Jacob Markstrom steals the game for us that we probably should not have won in general. Remember the entire Vegas series? Yeah, the Vegas series in 2020, Games 5, Game 6, we should not have won those. It was Demko who won those. So, It happens. We've got 79 more games to go. It should be okay. As for Detroit, celebrate this, man. What a fantastic victory for the Red Wings, holding on to the lead. Thomas Greiss making some saves over there, all the while having some great performances from your young guys, not to mention the chippiness here and there as well, which was certainly entertaining. It's a 3-1 Detroit Red Wings win after they get the empty net. They almost got themselves another empty net as well. For Vancouver, you gotta really improve that power play, dude. Once these other teams start clogging up their blue line on the man advantage, Vancouver cannot break in. They need to dump it in and get somebody in there to chase it. A lot of pucks were also getting blocked, and passes were getting blocked as well. Detroit was just in the right place at the right time in this one. And even though in my heart I don't think the better team won this game, I do think the Red Wings worked hard enough to justify getting that result. So if you're a Wings fan, talk to me in the comments. What are your thoughts about this game? Are you okay with my rationalization of the Garland and Zadina thing, or are you angry and unsubbing now because I said what I said about that? Let me know in the comments what do you think. Also, if you're a Canucks fan, how did you feel about this game? Are you pissed off, angry, you want to strangle Greiss because this guy was an absolute maniac? I personally don't want to do that, but I mean, if next time they play Greiss, they'd score a little bit more, I would like that as well. Either way though, let me know in the comments all your thoughts. I hope you enjoyed this video, Schroll 99, and bye.